What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. I am Jess. Thanks for clicking on today's video. I have a fun video for you today. It is a week 220 update. It is a new month, so we have a new weight loss challenge for the month. I have lots of victories to tell you, both non-scale and scale victories. So yeah, that is what we're going to talk about today. So I do want to say real quick, if you are new here, I am not a medical doctor, not a healthcare professional. This is just my story. I am not an expert, but I am on a mission to help share the honest truth of the ups, the downs of weight loss journey, and basically what I've been doing to overcome obesity. And I've been at this for 4 years, so I have a lot to say, and I love sharing and inspiring and motivating you and having you come along and doing this with me. So if you like stuff like that, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. And if you are not new here, welcome back. Thank you for your support. So what do you say we get started on today's video? Okay, so where do I even begin? So this weekend was filled with a lot of tests, or I should say obstacles, and what's the best way to say it? And basically I'm going to tell you how I navigated them by staying on track with the environment like brewing for me to mess up. It was all there. So what do I mean by that? Well, both my daughters, one plays in 10U, one plays in 8U, had softball tournaments. So that was a lot of games between two kids. So two kids both having tournaments, that meant long days, short sleep. You know, you have to bring your food to the ball fields. There wasn't time to make food. If you didn't make your food and plan ahead, you had to buy concession stand food or eat with, you know, the mountain of snacks the rest of the team's eating. So the environment was there for me to fail miserably or to use as a convenient excuse. But for the first time in a long time, I had absolutely no desire to even entertain, let alone eat any of those things. So I did my best, and I lived on protein bars over the weekend and squeezing in dinner once all the games for that day were done, finding a keto style dinner. So yeah, my menu wasn't perfect because a protein bar isn't the best choice, but it was so much better than a tray full of nachos, all the sugary drinks and stuff from the pretzels, all the stuff from concession stand food. So yeah, I'll take a high protein bar any day over that because it was kind of boring to eat a bar, but I stayed on track and it's what I needed to do to keep things going. So it was crazy. I am so proud of myself for staying on track, and because that environment in the past has crippled me. It is just, I gave in. I wasn't strong enough. I didn't want it for me. And this time around, I did want it. Like, it just feels different to be able to say, yeah, nah. Like Aussie man, nah. So, yeah, I have so much more strength to say no. Like, to just say, I don't want that for me. No thank you. And it's taken me 4 years to get to this point. 4 years. So to think that you can cure yourself in like 1 year or 2 years, it's something that you really have to work at and fight. And it's just now that I'm finally winning that battle and feel differently versus in the past where I just was like, get through the weekend and, But now I got through the weekend with confidence, and it was just one of those things that just made me so proud of what I'm doing. And maybe had I not set up such a foundation before I had a tournament that, like time-wise, I've had a lot of weeks. What did we start? The Fab Fighter Challenge. Was that March? So like it's been since March that I've been drilling away religiously with what my goals are. With overall this year, even since January 1st, I've just been laser focused. So maybe had I not had so much time winning or to making these habits, that it made this weekend seem so much easier, but I don't know, I'm taking it. But I do think that did contribute to where I am today. So with all that, I know it's a long spiel, but overall I nailed it this weekend. I stayed on track. I didn't blow it. I didn't give in. I wanted this for me. So that's my first victory I want to talk about. Now, the next one is, what are we going to do for the month of May? Now, if you're new here, I like to do monthly weight loss challenges. When you have a lot of weight to lose, you got to keep it interesting. You got to switch it up. You got to just keep finding ways to stay focused and to keep that goal in sight. So I decided since it's May and I'm a Justin Timberlake fan, I'm sure you've seen the meme floating around Facebook or social media. It's gotta be me. That is the name of the weight loss, fat loss challenge. What do I mean by that? I was thinking, there's so many ways to make excuses to say, oh, I don't have time, or I don't know how you do that, or like the questions I used to have in my head, right? I just don't have time in my day. I'm too busy. I work too much. I'm a mom. I can't do that because I got to bring my kids here. All of that mentality is just an excuse. There's 24 hours in a day. My challenge to you is find 30 minutes of me time. It's gotta be me. And that means in that 30 minutes, that means nobody can interrupt you. That is your 30 minutes. If there's 24 hours in a day, you can spare 30 minutes for you. And you need to make those 30 minutes untouchable to anybody else. So what are my examples? Go for that walk. Go to the gym. Do a Pilates class. Do yoga. Meditate. Read a book. Go to do a spa day. Go get a massage. Call up an old friend that you just love having long conversation with. Just 30 minutes a day. It does not have to be a physical challenge. It does not have to be, it just needs to be something that snaps you away. So you take that step back and you spend that 30 minutes for you. What do you desire to do in that 30 minutes? So for me, I'm gonna just go for walks. This time of year, the weather is on point. So this month, I'm gonna focus on getting a 30-minute walk in, which will help my overall steps. It's my preferred way to deal with the crazy in my head. But it's just 30 minutes a day needs to be you. So the challenge to you is it's gotta be me. 30 minutes. And that means you step complete, that 30 minutes is untouchable for anybody else. That is just your time. And if you don't make time for you, you can't make change in your journey. You can't change what you're doing, because you can even spend that 30 minutes making a meal plan. What do you want to eat for the week? Making a budget, 30 minutes to focus on you and what you desire. So, and it seems so simple, but think about how many times, me included, I'm too busy. I can't go for that walk today. I'm sick. I don't want to work out. You're so many excuses why you don't want to do something. And it does not have to be physical, but I'm too busy, or I have to go bring my kids XYZ, whatever the excuse may be. Those are convenient excuses to give up on yourself. You get 30 minutes to yourself a day. Take that hot bubble bath. Read a book, read a self-help book, go see a friend for coffee. Just 30 minutes to you. And that is really, I feel like that is gonna be a lot harder than if I said, go put 10,000 steps in. I honestly feel like to set aside 30 minutes for you with your undivided attention on you than it would be to go get 10,000 steps in. I mean, that's how honest and true it is for people to make themselves a priority. And what I have found for this comeback, or my part 2 of re-losing this weight, is I have made time for me. I am in that zone where I say no to things now that I normally wouldn't have said no. I would have just okay, Now it's no, I don't want this for me. I want to feel good. I want to lose this weight. I want to change my life, but I want to actually change it with action, not words. Oh man, it's so different this time around because I'm making myself my priority. For example, this past weekend when we went out for dinner, meaning that we're at the ballpark from 7:30 in the morning till 6:30 at night, I didn't want to cook. I mean, I'll just be honest, I was tired. So I normally would just give my kids free reign of where do you want to go out for dinner. This time around, I gave them options that I knew I could find something for me that I knew they would like. So I was like, here, you can have X, Y, Z. And they're like, oh, we'll go to this place. They have no idea why I did that. They just saw those 3 options and picked one. You know, no sweat there. And I get to stay on track because there's options for me at those places. So it's like just that little bit of tweak where I just didn't give them complete full reign, where, you know, they could say something like, there's nothing for me to, like at a fried chicken place. What am I gonna do there, you know? Like a fast food restaurant. What am I gonna do there? So, but by just making that little tweak and fighting for me and just giving some options, my kids go, they're so out of it. They just like, oh, okay, I'll pick from these ones and good to go, right? And everybody wins. So those little tweaks really matter at the end of the day. They just do. And that's because I'm fighting for me. I want to feel good. I want to see what it's like to not give up on myself. I want to see the finish line. So lastly, let's talk about the scale and non-scale victories. Now, we already talked about this weekend. I did so good staying on track. I've also had, I don't know how many weeks we've been in on this since the Flab Fighter Challenge, but I have really been on a roll. So I've put so many like shirts and shorts and, you know, like stuff that did not fit 3 months ago at the latest, and stuff is just fitting. And it's like, oh, my husband bought me this shirt like a year. I'm an Aussie man. He's a comedian. I am a huge Aussie Man fan because I like to laugh, and he bought me this shirt like over a year and a half ago, and I was barely able to fit into it then. Now I can wear it. It's like, yes, you know, just little things. My closet went from having like 4 things I could wear to I'm starting to get clothes back again. You know, I don't have to go to the store and buy fat clothes because I can't stop getting bigger. You know, like I'm finally shrinking again. It's like, and it's like, it's just nice to be able to grab stuff that you haven't worn in over a year because of my poor excuses to now right the wrong and got those babies back on. So it's like, yes, yes, yes. So that's empowering and exciting. And those non-scale victories mean more to me than anything else, because those things stick with me all day. When I look at the scale, it's like, you know, what? Not a big deal, but like when I pull on a pair of pants that I have really, really missed wearing and they fit and they button and that's just a whole nother feeling of awesome. So anyway, so that is like my clothes are just fitting. Additionally, we saw a lot of friends and stuff at the softball fields. I'm at that point where people are noticing that I'm shrinking. So it apparently was very obvious because I got a lot of those comments this weekend, and you know, there's friends I haven't seen in a while, and like, are you losing weight? Like, you look so good, you know. But point being, non-scale victories. There's so many of them right now, it's hard to even keep track. So let's talk about the scale victory. So last week I was 237. I have shaved off another pound and I'm 236. So at this point, I'm gonna readjust my macros. Just a little bit more. I might inch up the protein a little bit more because when I entered my new weight, it dropped my protein down to like 130. So I'm gonna pop it back up to like 145, 150. I like that range. So I'm just gonna tweak my macros a little bit, and if that means I gotta take a little away from carbs or fat, I'll tweak there to make sure I have that protein, because I wanna stay at that protein level despite my weight. And that's just because that's my goals right now. I honestly feel that my body looks a lot different. I will take a video in a minute, but my body looks a lot different than it looked when I weighed this weight last time. You know, like my first go around at this weight loss thing. And that's because I have focused a lot more on maintaining lean mass and targeting fat. Fat takes up a lot more space on your body than muscle. You know, like that's why this little 5 pounds of muscle is like this and the 5 pounds of fat is like that, you know. It's just the muscle is a lot more dense than fat. So when you're targeting fat, I am losing a lot more surface area, if you will, than if I was targeting fat and muscle, because didn't really try to maintain that muscle, because when you lose weight, inevitably you will lose lean mass too along with fat, but I want to try and control as much of that as possible and maintain the muscle and say, no, body, we got all the muscle here, don't take from that, take from this pile that's this big, you know. And that's basically why I do a high protein keto, is just so that I make sure that I am hitting that protein macros, what keeps me fuller, happier, satisfied longer. It normalizes the sugar cravings, it normalizes the hunger cravings, and it just makes me take a lot less emphasis and power on food than it used to have. Like now it's just I eat what I eat and we move along, where before it's like I ate to live. You know, and that's a good thing in some cases, but when you are trying to make changes and make food less of a priority in your life, you do need to change the foods that you're eating to be able to do that. And that means I don't live and die by fried chicken anymore. You know, like fried chicken is just fried chicken. And like I took that power away, you know, and now I eat chicken to feel good. So I just changed that whole scenario in my head, and that has gone a long way into my overcoming obesity. So I hope that makes sense. But anyway, so the plan for this week is just keep doing what I've been doing, keep this my new normal, and make time for me. It's gotta be me. And the last thing I want to do is give you some before and after pictures of my results with a high protein diet, with low carb as my emphasis, with some keto sprinkled through there, and just let you see some updated pictures. I figured I hadn't shared them in a while, but I finally took time, and we'll show you some before and after of my results. Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you at the next one. I'm Jess, you're watching Keto Rewind.